Hey, what is going on, everybody? Built the Kyosho Tomahawk. Uh, got all of it on video, and apparently my computer decided it wanted to eat video. So I'm just going to do a quick overview and my thoughts on the kit. This is the 2015 re-release. The original was released in 1983, I believe, about 37 years ago, give or take a little bit. Of course, they have made some changes to the kit. Overall, this is an awesome kit to build. It's a lot of metal, very little plastic in it. Fits together like a dream. Definitely way different than anything I've ever built before. I think these are still available. I've seen some of them around. I'm not sure how widespread the availability is right now. I picked this one up about a month ago. Kyosho kits are a little bit more expensive than the Tamiya kits. Like I said, this thing's got a lot of metal in it. It's the first Kyosho kit I have ever built. Instructions are very easy to follow. Little different, laid out a little different than what I'm used to, but easy to follow. All the information is still there. I will show you some of the neat things on this kit. I did use the Kyosho electric buggy starter pack in this. That is the 20-turn G20 motor and the Kyosho servo. The receiver speed controller I have set up there, not installed yet. My battery charger decided to not work for some reason, so I got computer eating video and a battery charger that won't work. So that's how my weekend's going. But anyway, shocks come pre-built. All you have to do is take them off, or take the springs off, pop the cap out of the bottom, and put oil in them. You do have to put a little gasket around the bottom cap. And I will say that is the most difficult thing that I had to do on this kit. It's a very small, very thin, clear gasket that you have to fit over the aluminum cap. And it's really hard to see what you're doing, and the thing is so small. But I mean, it's doable. Just be patient. Shocks are, they feel awesome. Everything just feels really smooth. The gearbox is pre-built on this kit. Basically, you mount the motor in your pinion. Takes a little bit of fiddling to get everything in there, get everything working. But everything is working. I believe the original, and somebody out there can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the original had a locked rear diff, but this one has is not locked. This actually has a ball diff, I think. The diff is pre-assembled as well. Excuse me. Upper deck for your electronics. Front suspension, very unique. You got this metal bar, it runs across here. It's steel. And it has little laser lines etched in it. And these cast pieces of metal that clamp it down have little lines in them. You line those up, and that's what adjusts everything. Arms are held on by these big set screws right here in the end. Very smooth. Very, very strange design, but it's very smooth. And I mean, apparently it works. I mean, it looks cool. You know, can't beat that. Rear arms, basically sort of the same. You have two metal posts, two steel posts, and a pin that slides through and is locked down with set screws. That lines everything up. And I mean, it's all very smooth, very well done. Look at the bottom. Your servo tray is aluminum. I think they have the servo tray and your your top deck, I believe you can get in carbon fiber from Kyosho. What else? What else? What else? A lot of metal on this kit, that's for sure. I have heard that you can get the rear cage is plastic. I've heard you can get that in aluminum, but I have not seen it anywhere. I checked even Kyosho of America's website. I didn't even see it listed on there. So, don't know. Maybe it's just some, maybe they're just out of them right now. I don't know. Maybe they're going to make some more in the future. We'll see. Not a big deal. I don't mind the plastic cage on the back. But there is, like I said, very little plastic on this kit. They do give you little tools, 2 little plastic tools for putting your tire rods together. And yeah, they work. I mean, what you get from other places is nothing. So at least they gave you something. And they do work. They do the job. Got the driver guy. He goes, kind of hides your receiver speed controller. That's why I hadn't installed them yet. I want to make sure I get everything lined up. See if I can get this guy on there. There he goes. He sits down and your speed controller sits here and your receiver sits down here. Keeps all that kind of hidden. There's not a lot of, as you can see, there's not a lot of space in there. So body is pre-cut, pre-drilled. Sits down on there. It does rub, the body does rub the shock tower right here, so I'll trim that out a little bit before I paint it. And I will paint it and put the stickers, decals on it as soon as I get decent enough weather. But overall, it's a great kit. I recommend it to anybody. A little experience in building kits would help, because this thing is so different from everything else that I've ever seen. And there are areas, particularly with getting the front suspension mounted, where you feel like you need like 5 hands. But nothing that's not doable, you know. I mean, you can get it done. Just be patient. You do need a good set of calipers, or at least a good stainless steel ruler in metric, because all your ball ends that the shock's attached to and everything, it gives you the Tomahawk ones have the nut and ball together. These have the nuts separate. You turn the nut on, drive apart the little ball in with the nut, and then the instructions tell you a specific length that they want the ball sticking out. And they give you a little wrench. This little wrench comes in the kit. So that and your nut driver, or excuse me, that and your hex wrench, Allen head wrench, is what you use to set that height. But overall, great kit. I haven't mounted the wheels and tires yet. They're sitting here. The center section, very nice looking wheel. But on the box art, you know, the center section is black, and they actually give you stickers that fit in there to make the center sections black. But I think what I'm going to do is, I got some black enamel paint. I may go ahead and paint instead of using the stickers. I hadn't made my mind up yet, but once I can get my battery charged, get everything tested and adjusted. I got to adjust the steering a little bit. and get everything adjusted. I'll get the electronics mounted, get the body painted, and then I'll come back and show you the finished vehicle after everything is 100% complete and it's ready to run. Step one will be figuring out what's going on with my battery charger. It's a decent quality, it's a high tech, but for some reason it just don't want to charge a battery. I'll have to look into it. But anyway, you do get a spare parts bag, and that has a second spur and pinion option. There's a couple extra body clips in there, a couple O-rings, extra gasket for the diff, a few other little odds and ends, a couple nuts and screws, and yeah, you know, just little spare parts. Hang on to them. I used the spur and pinion that was called out in the instructions. I don't remember right offhand the ratio, but it tells you in the instructions. But like I said, overall, it's a really nice kit. I love the little plastic cover on the. It's got a little plastic cover on the gearbox. Looks kind of like a cylinder head. That's pretty neat. Everything's very smooth on it. I think it's a nice kit. For the most part, mine will sit on the shelf. I won't take it out and beat it to death. I'll probably run it around a little bit, but I won't beat it up and tear it up. This is more of a collectible thing for me, something that I nowhere near had the money to pick up back in the day when it was initially released. I mean, you know, this kit was twice as much as a Tamiya back at the time. So, is what it is. Very nice kit. Like I said, I recommend it. Helpful if you have a little bit of experience with RC kits. And this one is very unique. Put it that way. But I figured I'd let you check it out. Sorry I don't have the build video. But anyway, after I get the body done, when the weather cooperates, get everything else straightened out, I'll give you another look at it. So until then, later.